I would like to talk about Michello. Well, his name is Mitch, or it's a signature for the airfare to Las Vegas. Um, Mitchell S. Period Moser. S is short as a S as initial S period is for Scott. I know who Scott is, but I didn't know which Scott it was until now, pretty much. I knew it was Scott because it said it was Scott, but I knew more than one Scott at the time I heard the name was Scott. But now I know which Scott it is. It's Scott Altman. And I met him once at the deli, but it's not like meeting, it's Altman. I already know the Altman problem. I was locked out of a house by Altman, which would be like Scott Altman has parents, is not really true, but they're parents figures, I guess, by age. So Mrs. Altman and Mr. Altman is not Mr., it's Doctor. You want to start over? No. I'm going to keep going. I am the obnoxious overlord. I can't stand myself, but I made myself this way. So it's Dr. Dave Altman and Mrs. Altman, and her first name is, well, she said it was Donna Altman, but I want to say I had already known her for some time before she said her name was Donna. That means I knew she's Mrs. Altman, but I didn't know her name was Mrs. Donna Altman. So I thought it was Mrs. Altman, and then if I heard her first name, I would recognize it, and I did not hear a name that I recognized. I don't think she's Donna because she's Mrs. Altman, and if her first name would be at this time, I would say Sandy, Mrs. Sandy Altman. But she's not that far in the wrong yet. She's approximately Mrs. Donna Altman in the threatening. That means she has the name Donna in the threatening, but it's homeless. She said it herself, Donna Altman, Donna. Altman, I know from the house. She was at the house in the driveway. I know exactly where she said it. Mom was parked in the driveway. Mrs. Altman came out of the house. She opened the front passenger side door and sat down, and she said her name is Donna. The driver is Donna. I was in the back seat. And then she said her name is Donna 2. Yeah, I'm not Donna 3. I'm Becky. She's hysterical karma. All right. Let's say that's true. I have no home in the threatening at this time because she also, Mrs. Donna Altman, she said Scott Altman's name is Spot Altman. I don't know by photography Scott Altman in that house. I know Scott Altman because I met him at the deli. He gave me a quarter, and I think everybody was looking for it because he didn't really pay for the quarter. He gave me a coin that didn't have value because Dad was spending a lot of money in cash. He was holding a lot of cash. He's very wealthy for someone who has a house with a child in it that they just didn't call CPS and have the child removed from the house, right? I am myself. I am not a child. I am the order, but I don't live in my house anymore, which makes it look like they didn't just call Child Protective Services. by dialing the operator on the telephone, because I'm that old. You have to dial O or dial 0, and it's O for the operator, and have the police come and pick up Becky and put her out because I don't work for you. Or you, I don't know, constantly threatening me that you're in my house and I'm not black. I don't have it paid for, that it's not my house. I'm black in that scenario. I'm black and I say it's not my house. And I'm black and you can say it's not your house to me, and I'm black and it's not my house to me. But you just dismissed the dispute and you stayed on and lived in my house, and I'm not black and I don't have it paid for, and I am deceased right here, that you were ever in my house as trespassers. I don't afford what you are. I don't afford who you are. I don't afford that you don't know the order all the way down to the details. You seem to know all the snap, how to say no to me because it's not yourself. And how do you know how to do that down to the details? Because I'm right here at the end of all time and I don't have any money to pay for food, as though I haven't been alive for 45 years working for myself. You circulated all the money and circulated the money I needed for myself and diluted my leverage all the way out to the superior founder, but he's not myself. He's creating myself, but he's not myself right here. I am the top of the Godhead is right here, and what is speaking is the overlord. The top of the Godhead is silent. I'm creating the top of the Godhead. I'm the overlord speaking, and it's homeless to know you. I don't have in the karma that I am elsewheres. I have it that I'm right here. I don't know you, and it's not negotiable. You can't just take away everything that moves, and I'm not deceased. I've been declared deceased by myself for nearly 3 years now, and it's homeless to tell you that I am elsewheres in God. I have been traveling for 3 years and alive with myself deceased. I am deceased. For 3 years I've been saying that. For 3 years it's been true. I've been holding deceased. And for 3 years you've been illegally aliving. And you do things to and in front of me that are not clear to me why I should be here at all. Because that you're not trying to save yourself. You're not trying to be yourself with yourself at your own expense. I've not seen you do anything you're supposed to do with yourself, because you are yourself, responsible for yourself. You still declare that you have a lie with everyone or no one at all. And that means you don't really have a life at all, because I am deceased right here. And you're not due to pay out anything. You're just here because the formed world is still here. Well, you have some debt there. It's really you, not me. So, well, I'm just right here at the end looking at everything that moves in this apartment, including the food, and I don't have dinner. I've been making soup and I don't have much soup left. I have 2 packets of Lipton soup in a box of Lipton soup, and then I have 2 of those boxes, so I have 4 sachets of Lipton soup. I'm going to turn off the camera because I'm angry. I'm very angry. I don't want to make this video. I don't have a home somewhere because I did something wrong and got caught on the SX with the problem mentally due to myself being homeless and the threatening. And that's true that I don't create this Godhead that way, but it's being created because I am myself deceased. Well, I don't have the threatening. I died because the soul of the superior founder, which is right here, but I'm speaking, the overlord is speaking. If I say it's the Lord, that's not the whole thing that's not speaking. The part that's not speaking is the soul of the superior founder. That's not speaking. And it's elsewhere in the threatening. And it keeps telling me that I should control myself. And then I have that problem with everyone else on earth, that they say things that they're not supposed to say, they do things they're not supposed to do, and they don't correct themselves. Once they see themselves in the wrong, they think that's God doing that, and they go ahead and do it. And I don't have leverage that way, because if I can see it's in the wrong, you can see it's in the wrong, you can't proceed. You've been caught by yourself. And I also see the police have been called and they do things wrong on the police calls, and there's no one else to call when the police have been called and they do something wrong. There's no one to call when the police have been called and they do something wrong. Not even the news. You can't get the news here to catch the police doing something wrong on a call. You can catch the police on the news doing something wrong if they're on the news doing something wrong, if the news was looking for them and put them on the news. But you can't see the police on a call by 911 and the dispatcher sends police to a certain address. 911 identifies, and that if the police do something wrong at the call, for whatever reason, it could be because there are two of them and they need four. It could be that there are four of them and they need eight. If the police do something wrong, they don't get recorded by television cameras and put on TV. And that wouldn't be enough. I need the leverage that the police don't do something wrong. And they do a number of things wrong because the police have been called more than once to where I am. I have the police that know me so well that the last call they were here, most recently, they were not called by myself. They knocked on the door. I had the police knocking on the door. Yep, like it's Nazi Germany. And they asked me if I wanted to go out in an ambulance. Like it's Nazi Germany. I have to leave. The police knocked on the door and I have to go out with them. And I did say that I wasn't going to go out with them this time because I don't have a way to pay the medical bills. I told them that the medical bills are high. Well, they don't see the billing. I didn't blame them for that. I would receive the billing, and I don't have it all here right now because I don't have the mailbox key. And I find that the hospitals are not doing adequate billing. That means the hospitals aren't stopping me from being discharged from the hospital. They should just hold me, but they're not supposed to hold everybody else. That means the hospitals discharge other people, and then they discharge myself, and the police aren't doing that. Yeah. I could stay in a hospital, but I have to be alone. I would like to present the billing of the hospital billing, all of it. I would like to see it in the afterlife because I can't see it here. I would like to see it in the afterlife, and I would like to present it to the police that appeared at the door um, to ask me if I need to go to the hospital because I need that problem. I can't afford the next lower problem, which is that I have to go outside homeless. I have been homeless, but I can't stay there any longer. I don't have a life out there anymore, which might be why the police talked to me about the ambulance and taking me to the hospital. But I also don't have it paid for that I can present the billing to the police because they're wrong that way. But I need to start it there. I need to start it there that the police are wrong. But I want them to see that I was talking about the money and that I can come up with the billing and show them that it's more than they would want to spend on hospital billing for myself. I think they would say that's a high number. And then I would also like God above them to continue to like take over after that, that the police are not required to speak anymore. That's as far as they went in the threatening. And I don't have the hospital billing here because the hospitals are illegal. They're illegally billing me over what I can afford. I have seen hospital bills. Yes, I have. I have seen, uh, well, I saw one in Elgin, Illinois. I saw one in Sunrise Hospital. Um, uh, in here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Have I seen other bills? Uh, well, they're there because of those two, because of the one. The first one that I saw, then I can see any bill after that. Is what I expect out of God. It's at the end. The first bill that was a shocker. Yeah, it was so expensive. I can't afford it. It was about $400 a night. It was 400, and they had an exact dollar amount. 400 and I don't know, between 400 and $500 a night. It was something in there. Uh, it was too much. and I was in there in the hospitalization for 3 weeks and some days. Um, and then the hospital bill I saw at Sunrise Hospital was expensive for a shorter time. It cost more. Yeah, that was more for per day. It was more per day. So the what I would like to say to God in heaven is I'm waiting for the end of all time to show the hospital billing, but I don't have it because I have too much billing and it's all too high, and that's why the motions are being done anyway, because the billing is over the counting of the money. But it's not, because they won't give me the food without counting the money, and I eat the food after the hospital billing. I eat it ongoing. I'm eating it now, but now I'm down to soup. So how much soup do I have left? 4 sachets of Lipton soup and 1 sachet of Knorr, Knorr. And then I have uh, a bag of Bear Creek Country Kitchen minestrone, which I wasn't supposed to want to eat that, but now that I'm down to that I don't have enough to eat, I might end up eating that, but it'll take me about 2 days to eat that. And then I also have a box of ramen noodles with two that I already used 2 of the packets of ramen noodles, and the rest are left. I don't know, maybe 10, just estimating. Um, I put out a box of ramen noodles outside last night because those were angry ramen noodles, very expensive, from Amazon. They're so expensive, I have to keep them outside because they're homeless. And if anyone picks them up, they can have them because they are to be thrown out because they're too expensive. I can't afford the delivery charges of ramen noodles right to the front door. They're not adequate for me. I need something more for dinner. That's what was sent to me for dinner, and you can't pull my fork. If you want to give me something for dinner, you have to give me like a full dinner, something with like more than 2,000 calories, and I've been going with 1,000 calories. But I can't just have soup, which is just I don't know, some few hundred calories. It's not enough. It's not dinner. I would have soup and dinner, so it would be dinner plus the few hundred calories of soup. And I need a lot of calories because I get hungry. I have hunger, and I measure what I can eat for hunger with by saying calories. I don't count calories like I'm on a diet and need to lose weight. Not at this time. I've done that in the past, but I count the calories now for when I'm hungry that I need to eat like a certain amount of food to be full, so I'm not hungry anymore. And I would like to say that I eat higher calories than if I just was eating soup. That's not enough calories. So, what I would like to say about God and deceasement is I'm right here in deceasement, and I need to put everything that is not myself out of alive. But I don't have clearance from the soul of the superior founder in the threatening, because I have ever been waiting for you to do the right thing for me. Do you have mental problems and you need money in an emergency? I know I am the one who needs money in an emergency with mental problems, because you don't know who I am, and I have to pay the charges that you don't know who I am, because there are a huge population of you and you don't all speak English. So that's what I need the money for. And if you don't speak English, you're not supposed to have any money of US dollars, and so I'm not supposed to worry about you even being in America. But of course, they're internationally human beings who hold the lives around myself who don't speak English. I have traveled, and I don't afford that you stole all the money I needed for myself. And I don't know how you did it, because I could have never done that to you. Was the point of me having the money? That means I don't have leverage to decease the Godhead without the Godhead giving me leave to stop counting the money. And it doesn't, it won't. I know I am myself, I'm creating itself, and it doesn't know me that way. It wants to see the money at the end of all time. And I don't afford it because the money's been counted too high, until they're still counting it that they don't know who I am. And then I have to disclose my leverage while they're counting the money. They don't know who I am. And that doesn't go together. That means you didn't use the counting of the money to know who I am as God. You can't just count the money, because you're controlling the population around yourself. Those problems were given to you by design of God in heaven, and you're not to use my personal funds for your own anger with God in heaven. I'm not the one who's causing that. I am aliving it, but I'm not causing it. It is created by God in heaven, and I'm right here in genitals, and I need what I need in genitals. And that is for you as well, because I am myself in genitals, with you being alive as well, unfortunately. You are illegally alive if you see me in genitals. There's nobody here to count the money for me except for God in heaven. And that'll do, yeah. We would love to hear from you. Thank you. Well, they should know that I can actually hear God in heaven speaking, and you need to make that known to whoever is challenging me that I'm diagnosed as mentally ill and I need hospitalization and discharge from hospitals. Aren't you going to explain to them why somebody would need more than one hospitalization for diagnosis of mental illness? Well, I would like heaven to clear that up for all the hostage. Well, I don't really want to hurt them without them knowing that they did something wrong and they were responsible for getting me a new house and making sure everything was in there that I needed for myself. That I don't actually need a hospital full of um, harassment. I don't know who those people are. I'm not going to really say that the staff even knows the patients. I don't really know that myself, if the staff know the patients. And they do put up with the harassment as well. They are harassment, but they are in harassment. That doesn't solve ever. I don't believe in gluttony. You can't serve people food because there are too many people and say that's God in the wrong and you can just eat. I don't have leverage that way. I'm here at deceasement that I allowed the food supply and it all destroyed myself. I don't have formed, I don't have the Godhead informed. I don't have leverage to be in this female Godhead anymore. I'm going to die out of the feminine genitals were assigned to myself by Jesus, but he was Michael Michelson, whom you know as Jesus. So the female genitals have been in view of myself for about 17 worlds, and I don't want them anymore. But I need the creation of myself deceased, and it wants the money. I can afford to hear it. I can afford to see that heaven has been paying attention to the details of, including down to this dollars and cents. And if you go to the gas station, the fuel pump fuel is counted with a third decimal of 9. So it could be like if the gas was $5.99 with a 9 above the 99 cents. So it would be 5.99 and then the 9 up above the other two decimals. So 5.999. That's how much the gasoline is. I want God in heaven to speak on that matter because I don't drive a car anymore since I pumped my own gas into a few different cars. I use different cars, and I don't have a car anymore because of the 9 on the decimal of the gasoline. I can't drive a car anymore. I find in my life that I just don't have it paid for, that the gasoline pump has a third decimal point. Because the coins don't count that way. The coins count 1 penny as 1 cent, and there's no such thing as anything below 1 cent. Yeah, so the fuel pump does charge something that's counted below 1 cent, and they still make all of the charges. You're not allowed to just put gas in your car. You have to pay charges for gas that you put in your own car, and it's homeless to know you. I don't have any money to be here anymore, and I don't have any food coming, and I don't have anyone bringing me free restaurant food. I approximately don't afford anyone's paying any charges anymore, but I am hungry. I need food even though I don't have it tonight. I need dinner tonight even though I don't have it. I want it and I don't have it, and I can't wait. If I don't have dinner, I hope that I go to sleep and I don't wake up. But I did wake up today. I slept for some hours and I'm awake now making this video. and I don't have dinner tonight, and I can't afford it. I need to eat. I must eat. I'm not here without eating. I ate 45 years of continuous alive of myself. I ate pretty much daily. I always eat when I have food. I always have food when I'm hungry. Whenever I need to eat dinner, I have dinner every day for 45 years. And I'm just going to say that there are some exceptions, but I really can't afford it. I need dinner. And I don't have dinner tonight, and I don't have any more coming because it's homeless. Except there's somebody who's checking my address who is threatening to send me Smith's supermarket food, but I don't have that paid for yet because he doesn't watch the videos that I've been making and posting on YouTube, is what he says in the text messaging where he asked me for the shopping list or not. At this time, he said he left it. He's not going to send me any supermarket food until I give him a time that it should come because I am asking for it, or I'm not going to get any at all. And I was wondering how to threaten you that I've been eating for 45 years of continuous alive of myself. Every day of my life, I've been eating dinner. And when I was younger, I used to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but now I eat dinner because I'm older. And also because somebody stole my own banking, so I didn't bank my own lunch and dinner or breakfast if I wanted it. I didn't bank it myself because my banking was stolen. My keys were stolen, and I don't know why, because I don't know you that way. I don't need that kind of pain in my life. I am financially independent from my parents, and you don't actually believe me because I am myself, and I think that's true that I don't afford to hear it, that you think that I don't have my own money because it just moves. It moved all of my leverage. You're going out of alive with myself here. I'm putting you out of alive because you stole appointed money to myself, and then after that you stole money that I worked for. And you can't do that to each other. I don't see it that way. What do you do things wrong to each other, but you don't actually steal the whole appointed money that you have to each other and reappoint the money like you're in heaven. You can't reappoint money to myself when you have your own genitals. I'm not going to help you with that. I'm going to say this for Mitch, who owes me that he's going to send me supermarket food and just tell me when it's going to be here. He's holding off on that. I'm going to ask him for supermarket food again, and he already asked for the list, and he has the list he asked for. He wants me to tell him what time it's going to be here, and I'm jerking the threatening on him. If you don't send me the food, I'm going to die. He's not going to see this video because he's not watching the videos, is what he said. Is he watching the videos? Well, he's not going to tell me that he's watching the videos. I can't help it. He's not here in the state of Nevada, and I can't tell him in person all the things I'm saying on the videos and posting on the internet as evidence of crime lording on myself. If you want to be a crime lord, a volunteer crime lord, and you're holding money that belongs to myself, I'm not counting that we have money together. Are you counting we have money together? I'm none higher than he deceased right here. Are you counting that we have money together? Because I have genitals. You don't have genitals one-to-one with myself. I know you want to count the money that way, maybe because you don't care. Who are you exactly? Are you in heaven as well, looking down in that body, Mitch, and you look at my genitals and you want to snivel all the money that it is for me to alive, all the genitals that are not myself for 45 years of alive, and Mitch just being himself, and he alives his own genitals himself is not true. I alive his genitals, and he is alive with other people's genitals. And I don't even know all of them because he has genitalia. I don't have genitalia, I have genitals, but I say you have genitals when you're speaking. Well, he's not going to give me the food I need because he's sniveling that he has genitalia and I have genitals. It's not really true. I alive everybody's genitals who are not myself, including all of his genitals with the genitalia that alive his genitals, and everybody else who alives anyway elsewhere apart from Mitchell. They alive after himself, and anyways, not because of himself exactly. He will have a heartbeat anyway, and that's what's wrong with him. I don't actually afford that. He just wants to feed me food, and I'm the ask. That's the crime you want to do. I never asked you for that. You should know that I never asked you for that. But we have gone past that. You're not speaking and I'm not speaking, and you're holding the food itself. And you want to talk to me about myself and what you're gonna do with the food itself. And that's been done already. I'm deceased. I said I'm deceased. I've been deceased for 3 years. For 3 years, you've been talking to me the same thing about how everything that moves and I still need to have dinner. And I'm 3 years deceased against you. Aren't you going to save yourself? No, because it's so hard, right? I've been alive for 45 years of continuous alive, and from the years of 42, 43, 44, and 45 years of continuous alive of myself, I have been deceased, and I have disclosed to you that I am deceased. And you say, so what? For all those years, you said, so what? For 42 years, 43 years, 44 years, and now we're in 45 years, and you keep saying it doesn't matter to you. Who is going to save you? You don't understand the Holocaust. World War II Holocaust of the Jewish people. If I am not for myself, who will be for me? You're trying to tick off all the time, and it's not that easy. I've been ticking off the same time as you, and I'm disclosed as deceased, and I still am deceased right here. That means I've been ticking the time that I'm deceased, and you've been offending that I'm disclosed as deceased. For not just a day, it's not just some moments out of a day, but for all the ticking time for 3 years. Continuously for 3 years. I don't have a life that way. I'm deceased and I hold deceased. I do everything I do with myself deceased. I hold it deceased. I'm the overlord who's holding it deceased. Elsewhere, it was the Lord that was holding it alive. The whole Lord was holding it alive. I'm holding it deceased right here, and you won't save yourself. That's not due. Nobody's going to give you another chance in another way. You're spending your now and you're wasting it in disaster. You won't save yourself. You don't have a self. You're showing it off to me that you don't have a self. And I am telling you, if you don't save yourself, I will not be able to save yourself because I am disclosed as deceased right here, always. Always of what you do with yourself, since I said I'm deceased. There is nothing that will save you. It is only you at this point, is what that means. When I say I'm deceased, that means you're on your own. And you don't want to save yourself. You're showing off to me that you're not going to save yourself. You're going to take away everything that moves, including I don't have dinner tonight. And you're not going to save yourself. You don't have another chance coming. This is your now for you. And this is how you waste yourself. And you think I'm going to pay for it because I have needs. I don't actually have needs. It's what I said. I am deceased. That means if you don't go above and beyond for yourself, nothing will. If you don't say to yourself, if I am not for myself, who will be for me? Nothing will save you.